Time on WagerTalk TV. You've got Carmine, you've got Prez, you've got myself, Andrew McGinnis. We have 3 games plus best bets and all kinds of props to break down. And he is back. Carmine is back. Carm, good morning to you, sir. How are you?
I'm doing good, Andrew. I'm glad to be back. It's been a long 4 days since I was on PuckTime with you guys, taking Friday and Monday off for some medical stuff, but onwards and upwards. I want to thank the guys from a lot of our Pucksters. I had some messages from a bunch of people. Really appreciate it. All I'm going to say is I'm still waiting on stuff. Andrew had an MRI yesterday, and I don't know if you guys have ever seen. I went in completely calm, cool, and collected yesterday morning, and then as they put me in that tube, all I could think about is the Ryan Reynolds movie Buried, and then the anxiety kicked in. I'm like, I felt claustrophobic, but got through it. Didn't get to see the show with you guys yesterday, but I heard you guys killed it. So with that said, we're going to cover the Winnipeg Jets, New York Rangers. Probably the toughest test of the season for the Winnipeg Jets, going to Madison Square. New Jersey Devils in Florida, a weird one because I think they're playing back-to-back games here in Florida. Andrew, your prop segment, which continues to print money. And then we're going to finish it off with the Calgary Flames, Vancouver Canucks, a rematch of the first game in Vancouver earlier this season, which had a surprise ending to it. And then we'll do our best bet segments, of course, and close it off. Ladder challenge is going to return later, guys, when I can put some more time into it. But with that said, I got to spend the weekend, a couple days at the Leafs game. Friday night, I tweeted some stuff out. And on Saturday, Barbarian Steakhouse, great place here. Johnny Detroit from our Detroit office was in town. Huge Wings fan with his beautiful wife. Rob Braley was in town. And of course, this guy, the Prez, soaking it all in as the Toronto Maple Leafs knocked off the Detroit Red Wings. And he let us know about it the whole game long. Prez, welcome to the show. If you have a couple thoughts, let us know, and then you can jump into what you like in this Winnipeg and New York Rangers game.
Carm, I don't want to get into your insanity at the NHL game. Fun weekend. Loved spending time with Johnny, yourself, and Rob Braley. It was wonderful. And let's move on. What game are we discussing right now?
Winnipeg and the New York Rangers.
Yes.
We're starting it off with the marquee game, as far as I'm concerned.
So supposedly, this is their biggest test of the season. The fact that they got walloped by the Leafs, obviously at home on their ice, doesn't count. That doesn't count. Nope. Even though they failed miserably on their biggest test of the season, that wasn't actually a test. That was just a scrimmage pickup hockey game between two Canadian teams. Guys, I'm going to make this super easy here. I freaking love the Rangers in this game. I don't like the Rangers. I love the Rangers here. This is a bet that I'm happy to make. They are minus 125. And look, I understand, man, this Winnipeg team, historic start to the season, minus a destruction by the Toronto Maple Leafs. They are 14-1. And now they're playing a team that I think is better than them. I think Toronto is better than them. I think Dallas is better than them. The Rangers are going to win this game. This is a bad spot for Winnipeg. They hit the road for a long road trip. There's definitely your aggression. They're at the absolute highest. You know, it's one of those things we talk about, this catching a falling knife. You know, you want to bet on a team that is 14-1 in their last 15 games. You want to bet on a team that's won 6 straight games. Why don't you wait until the Tesla stock is the highest it could be and then buy it? Try that strategy. See how it goes. Speaking of stock, sideways conversation, but I told everybody on WagerTalk today to buy Bitcoin. I begged them. I pleaded with them. I even told them that it would go up in the month of November. I actually called the month that it would go up. Not that it hasn't been going up the whole damn way, but I said in November, we got a shot at 100K. So pat on the back to the Prez. With that said, you cannot bet Winnipeg here. It's irresponsible with your money to buy a stock at the highest it could possibly be. And to boot, the Rangers did not play very well against Detroit. Yeah, they beat them 4-0. Great. They were outshot by Detroit 37-24. They were whooped by Buffalo 6-1. We got a Rangers team at a low market price. We got a Winnipeg team at the highest market price ever in their history. Rangers all day long. I would take them money line, regulation, -1.5. Throw in a -2.5 for me. I love the Rangers here.
Doesn't just like it, he loves it. He loves the New York Rangers, Madison Square Garden, a big game between two opponents doing well in their own conferences here. And you know, I truly, truly believe Winnipeg's getting some credit, but if they played in any other place in Canada or America than Winnipeg, that team would be getting national television attention. You know, if anybody else, if any other Canadian team got off to the same start that Winnipeg had, they'd be getting a hell of a lot more respect than they've certainly been getting so far to start this season. Having said all of that, if I didn't already have a 5% play going tonight, the New York Rangers could have been a, you know, maybe a 4 or 5% play for me. Because I like them as well. I like them as well, Prez. And you know what's a big indicator for me? I every night before I go to bed, whether or not I'm actually putting in plays, I'm always aware of what the numbers are, the overnight numbers. You take a look at what the Winnipeg Jets were, the New York Rangers were overnight, okay? The opening number, -135. That's the consensus opening number. Drop down to -125, 120. Now, some people might say, oh, no, money's coming in on the dog. Well, of course, money's going to come in on the dog. You're getting the Winnipeg Jets as a good price, as an underdog. It's to the surprise of nobody that number moved the way it did. But you have to ask yourself, why did that number open up at -135? Well, New York has great goaltending. They have good defense. When they're at home and they get the last change, it's very advantageous for them because they have center depth. I haven't wanted to fade this Jets team that many times this season, but I think today is a good time to do it. And I was on the Maple Leafs when they did beat the Winnipeg Jets, so hopefully we can pick another time that they will go down. So, Carm, are we in agreement here? And you know what happens when we are in agreement? We always joke about Joe and Dan wanting to jump in and bet the other side on us, but do you like the home side as well, or are you riding the hot hand with Winnipeg?
I think if you were gonna bet Winnipeg, the value was gone overnight. The Rangers opened at about -130. You could have got Winnipeg at about 115 in some places. They're down to 105 here. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that it's looking or trending to being Jonathan Quick in goal instead of Igor Shesterkin, which to me still does not make sense because Quick has been just a fantastic backup goalie for the New York Rangers. And they're going to manage Shesterkin. He got shelled against the Sabres. They had to pull him. He didn't play great, but his numbers, other than that game, have been great. You look at Quick's 3-0, 1.17 goals against average, 964 save percentage. You can always take it with a grain of salt and say, okay, he's got 3 wins, but 2 of them came against both in Detroit against the Red Wings. 1 of them came against Anaheim. He's yet to face a team like the Winnipeg Jets, but he has faced the difficult teams in the past. The guy has 396 wins. He's going to hit 400 wins within a month or so. And for a backup goalie playing extremely well, for a 38-year-old backup goalie playing extremely well, I like him. I'm going to take the under in this game just because I have to believe both these goalies, if it's Hellebuck coming in, and I think he was one of the 3 NHL weekly stars this past week as well, too, along with Pekka Luukkonen and I think McDavid, or the guy out in McKinnon, who has 30 points already in the NHL season. I'm going to go with the under here. I think this is one of those grinded out games. It's at 6. I have the same feelings on this one as I had about the LA Kings and Calgary game yesterday, which stayed under the total. The underlying numbers lead you to want to take the under, and that's what I'm going to do in this game. So give me the under in this one.
Looking towards the under, and Carm, sometimes these matchups, as much as they might seem exciting on paper, they end up leading to defensive hockey. And I don't know about you guys, and I think I know the answer, is that we don't mind defensive hockey. You know, it can still be entertaining. Some people would love to watch goals. I enjoy more lower scoring games in hockey than I do enjoy the 6-4 games, because that's just chaos with bad defense and bad goaltending. So when some really quality teams get together, a lot of times we could see some really good defense. All right, from one really good team to the next, let's talk about the Florida Panthers, defending Stanley Cup champions, who are playing at home tonight against the New Jersey Devils. The Devils, Carm, they looked flat, to say the least, against the San Jose Sharks. We're seeing Florida around minus 130, 135. Devils, plus 120 now, average price out there for them, plus 115 even at some spots. What are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, you know, this is Andrew. This is one where the dogs could be barking. It might be a general theme across the NHL and some of the games that I do like tonight. I get it. Listen, much like Winnipeg, this Florida team is playing extremely well. They come back from that long trip, and and it was a long one for them. And you know, they win a couple games. They beat Nashville 6-2. They beat the Philadelphia Flyers in OT, a game that was a little tougher for them. And I think at some point, a little bit of regression is going to hit this Florida team. It's not going to be a long one, but they're going to lose 3-4 games in a row, and we're going to be like, "What's wrong with the Florida Panthers?" There's nothing wrong with the Florida Panthers. They're still one of the best teams in the NHL. I like what's happening in New Jersey. I like what Sheldon Keefe, and I don't think I've ever said I like what Sheldon Keefe is doing with any team that he's coached. The only other one being the Leafs. But you look at them, and you know, over the last 7 games, the only games they've lost, they've been shut out. They haven't been blown out. They lose to the Calgary Flames in Calgary 3-0. They lose to the Sharks 1-0. But this is still a team that is trying to focus on playing defense first and win games. And that's what you're gonna have to do against a Florida team, because you don't want to get into an up and down game with Florida. They get ahead of you, and then they just strangle you to death on the ice. I think the Devils are a live dog here. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take them. They're plus 125 right now. Markstrom looks to be confirmed. No, actually, Markstrom's not confirmed. Bobrovsky is confirmed for the Florida Panthers. I'm taking the live dog here. I think they're a live dog. Not as big a live dog as the Buffalo Sabres were against the New York Rangers, where we were getting plus 165, plus 170. But I'm going to take the money here off a shutout loss. I like them to bounce back. And it's tough to bounce back in Florida, but we are going to try and do that. So give me the Devils plus 125. Prez, what are your thoughts on this game?
My brother, thanks for asking. Just was putting in my college basketball play. Frickin' 10-2 to start college basketball. Boom! Number 1 at the website by a mile. Anyway, I like the over in this game, and I like it a lot. Bottom line here is, look, guys, we saw what Florida did last year. They won it all. They were extremely defensive. They played to the under all the time. This is not the same Florida team. They lost defense they lost defensemen. Their team has a different type of a makeup. They are 11-4 to the over on the season. That's right, 11-4. Why, might you ask? Well, thank you. They have scored 4, 6, 4, 6, 5, 6. That's right. in their last 6 games, the lowest amount of goals they've scored is 4, and they've scored 6 3 times. 3 times in 6 games, they've scored 6. And it's not like they're playing teams that can't play defense. They put up 10 points in 2 games against Dallas. They put up a 6 spot against the Islanders. These are teams that don't go over. As for New Jersey, they just put up a duck against San Jose, but they got 44 shots on net. They had bad puck luck. They put up 4 against the Islanders, 5 against Montreal, 3 against Edmonton. And although they have had good defensive games at times, they're not a defensive juggernaut by any stretch. 6.5, I think this game gets into the 8-9 number. I like over the total.
All right, Prez, I wish you the best of luck on that. And since you guys were talking about, or you talked about like college basketball, college football, what have you, guys, if you're a customer of WagerTalk or you're a customer of the Gold Sheet, there is a great deal that is still going on. And great, I mean great, in you get a free preview of the Gold Sheet. All you got to do is log into your account, and it's already loaded there. And it'll be there for the next 6 days until Sunday, November the 17th. It is a preview of our basketball Gold Sheet newsletter. So you can click in every day and see some thoughts on NBA games, some thoughts on college basketball games, absolutely free if you're a customer of WagerTalk or the Gold Sheet. So log into your accounts and you'll find it loaded there. Andrew, I'm not sure if we got your opinion on this Devils Florida game, but if not, I got to hear it.
Carm, I don't usually use this this handicapping terminology, I guess, but we're going to quote Marco here with a sandwich spot. I think this is a really good sandwich game, or I guess there was a sandwich game prior to this one for the New Jersey Devils. You know, the Devils were playing some good hockey, right? Playing well defensively, offensively, special teams, good power plays, good penalty kills. And then what happens when you show up to the rink and you see that the next game on tap for you is against the San Jose Sharks? And then you check the schedule, the game after that game is against the defending Stanley Cup champions. Which game are you caring about the most? And I never really use this as a handicapping tool, as a handicapping situational spot. But I think it really applies to this spot in particular right here, because the Devils are playing some good hockey. They get absolutely humbled. They get shut out against the San Jose Sharks. Not just a loss, shut out. And, of course, the expected goals were in their favor. And you got a Florida Panthers team that just hasn't seemed to have a flat spot quite yet in the last 4 or 5 games. They go over to Finland. A few of their European players on that team absolutely shine. They go 2-0 against Dallas. They come back. They're playing some good hockey again. This is going to be a highly motivated New Jersey Devils team. And this is the kind of spot you want to be fading the Florida Panthers in. You got a motivated team coming to town, getting some good plus money. One of the better teams in the conference. And this Devils team has been a really good team off a loss. And for what it's worth, I've been mentioning this quite a bit this year. Like I mentioned, my buddies Ian and Alex, Ian Cameron and Alex B. Smith have also been doing this. The over 1.5 in the first period after a team has been shut out has been absolute dynamite. I've been betting that all the time. And yeah, sure, there's been some late goals that have helped me out, but I'm sure you guys watching have been betting this as well. Devils 1-0 loss in their last game. You know what that means, guys. Over 1.5 play is alive in tonight's game in the first period.
All right, Andrew, I like it because as you're talking, I'm checking the WagerTalk live lines and I see it looks like a Christmas tree. Everything is lighting up. And when it's lighting up and there's odds that are changing early in the morning, it normally is goalie confirmations, like the late, great GOAT Dave Koken used to say, you got to know your goalies. And I'm seeing it. So I go over to some of the goalie projection sites and it is now Igor Shesterkin confirmed for the New York Rangers. That line went up to -130 already on the Rangers. Hellebuck confirmed for Winnipeg. And it was originally confirmed as Bobrovsky. It is now Spencer Knight. I'm looking at confirmed for the Florida Panthers. So that New Jersey Devils line has now dropped. They were plus 125. Now I'm seeing plus 120, plus 115 at some books. So the Devils are taking a little bit of money. And this, with this being a back-to-back, we'll obviously see Bobrovsky in the second of the two games between these two teams. With that said, Andrew, I hope that doesn't change any of your thoughts on the prop segment, because that's where we're going now. Your prop program, you got keep spitting out some winners, man. Let's have a few more.
Yeah, it was 1-1 yesterday. Unfortunately, I did tweet out an error that I corrected. I thought it was a 2-0, but it was 1-1. We saw a shot correction there. So 1-1. So we'll move on to today. But Stan Coven did have a great game, but unfortunately, he did not get those 3 shots. And Trevor Moore, well, I had him to get a point on the show yesterday. He scored the only goal for the LA Kings. So that was always nice. But guys, I have 3 player props for the prop playbook segment for today. Looking forward to it on a little bit of a bigger slate here on Tuesday. Before I jump into that, though, a few of you guys took advantage of this yesterday, and I hope a few of you will join me today on this. NHL 150 takes $150 off my full NHL season. It's a great, great deal. I'm on an 8-2 NHL run. We got a 5% play going tonight on the ice, so looking forward to that. And if you want to join me for long-term plus playoffs, NHL 150, $150 off the full season. Get all the plays I release in one package. All right, enough of that. Let's get to the props here, and let's go to Jesper Bratt from the New Jersey Devils. We're going to take him over 2.5 shots on goal here. He's gone over this number in 5 straight games. And Carm, you mentioned, hey, maybe this will or will not help me. I think it does help me. The fact that it's not the number 1 goalie in there for Florida, we got Spencer Knight in there. That might help out the case for more shots on goal, and hopefully Jesper Bratt goes over 2.5 shots on goal for the New Jersey Devils as they're in bounce-back mode today. The next one we're going to go with is Jordan Eberle for the Seattle Kraken. This is a team that's just craving consistency. They need to get back on track. They need to try and string a few wins together. We're going to take him at a really good price here. You got like minus 120, 125 at some spots, 130. I mean, make sure you guys shop around, but they're playing the Columbus Blue Jackets. And the Kraken have not had the easiest of schedules to start their season off. I believe they will do well against this Blue Jackets team. And the last one we're going to go with is Sam Bennett from the Florida Panthers. I really like this one. And guys, this one is a little bit more chalky, but they're not really moving the number that much. He has a point in 8 of his last 9 games. Florida continues to have success, and yet his number is not moved nearly that much. So if you expect a decent game out of the Devils, out of the Panthers, I think Sam Bennett gets on the board. I think Sam Bennett gets us at least a point tonight, and that's it for the segment. Appreciate it, guys. And don't forget about that promo code NHL150. All right. Before Prez gets lost on us, let's bring him back into the show and ask his thoughts on Flames and Canucks. Prez?
Yeah, real simple, straightforward. And I'm just going to let you guys know this is an actual client play of mine. I like the Canucks here, Andrew, in regulation as well. Let me tell you a couple of quick things. Number one, I don't believe in this Calgary team at all. I think that we have Calgary at a high market value right now and a perfect time to really get in front of them. This is a team that I think when all said and done will not make the playoffs and will be in the bottom 10 in the league. They're 8-5 to start the season. They also just beat the LA Kings 3-1. Perfect spot to jump in front of them. As far as Vancouver goes, I love this team. And they're coming off of a terrible loss at home against the Edmonton Oilers. They lost 7-3. This is a bounce back game for them. I think this game is going to be a slaughter. I think we're going to see a 3-goal difference here. I like Vancouver in regulation. I like them minus 1.5. And it is, as I mentioned, a client play.
Great stuff, Prez. Client play on the Vancouver Canucks in regulation. Carm, every now and then we make some kind of memos and kind of say a few things. I just want to say something to the audience that I think we try and make very clear, and I'm sure the two of you guys would agree with me on this, is that we are on this show every day. We're giving out picks. We do all kinds of content. I try and be very clear with which plays I'm betting, which plays are client plays, which plays are free plays. The end of the day, we give out a ton of plays. And I'll tell you what, there's days like yesterday where I really wish that I gave out Carolina team total. I wish I bet it with my own money. I didn't, and there's not going to be every single time where all these are bets. So we don't like to address the trolls, as we say here, Carm, but I had some people talking to me on Twitter last night, and they're saying, well, you liked this play so much on PuckTime yesterday. Why wasn't it a play for clients? Or why wasn't it a bet that you made with your own money? And at the end of the day, we give out a ton of picks every single day on different shows. But we only have the favorite ones that go to our clients. And my pick yesterday was Dallas team total over. And I was happy with that one. So I'm sure you agree, Carm, like, you can never make anyone happy, I guess. But, if I give out 4 opinions on PuckTime today, one of those might make the client card, right? I'm sure you understand.
Yeah, you're always going to have, they're keyboard warriors. They're always going to be out there. We give our clients the plays that we give them. We also try and pass along some plays here that we like that may not make the client card. You can't put out 7-8 plays a night in the NHL to your clients. You want to sort of pick and choose which the best ones are, and occasionally guys like Lawrence right now, the Prez, guys like Brian Leonard will come on the show and give you one of their client plays, and I do the exact same thing. But use the information however you, hold on a second, use the information however you want to use it. The idea of these shows is to give you a line on how we're thinking about a game. You may agree, you may disagree, but at the end of the day, it is this is how we do it. You guys extrapolate whatever info you get from it, and if you want to make a bet on it, you make a bet on it. Case in point, and I'm just going to switch sports for a second. It is amazing that with my producer Dan Alexander, I do the Let Carm Cook segment. 2 weeks ago, it goes 3-1-1, actually 4-1 because of the one of the lines, but you just get negative comments. It rolls off of me. This past weekend, 5-0 in Circa. We post the 5 selections before, right at the top of the show. One of them was Cincinnati, so I gave out an additional play, so there would be 5 live plays on Sunday. Go 4-1. You get negative comments. What more do you want other than I had 8 winning plays out of 10, and people still aren't happy? It is what happens. All we ask you to do on this show is to be respectful to the people that are in the chat, and to hit that like button. So that's it. Prez, before I get into my thoughts on this Vancouver
really quick,
Calgary one, it seems like you want to say something. So go ahead.
Well, firstly, Jay Jerk wrote, Prez, do you answer emails? I have a problem with a purchase package. Jay, the answer is yes and no. No. The hell no, I do not answer emails personally. But hell yes, we answer emails. We got one of the best customer service groups around. I mean, honest to God, Missy, Melissa, the whole office in Detroit is outstanding. Just email customer service. They will take care of you. They are world class at what they do. And Carm, I just wanted to add one thing real quick to what you were saying, and that is, and Andrew mentioned this as well, I wish I could release every play that comes to mind. I love the Leafs tonight in regulation. Love them. I love the Rangers tonight. I mean, I really legitimately like both those plays. I'm not releasing them. Why? Well, I like 2 other plays better than I like those, and I don't want to release 4 plays. 4 NHL plays, plus college basketball, plus NBA, Next thing you know, you have one bad night and go 0-8 for your clients. They hate you and want to kill you for the rest of your life. It's important to understand the difference between betting and sort of selling plays as well, right? I'm not going to bet the Leafs and the Rangers. I might put a very small amount, but we try to give you our very best, not everything we think of. And that's important to mention because it doesn't help us releasing 10 plays in a night. If we go 10-0 or 4-0, it makes no difference. But if we go 0-10, oh my God. That's all.
All right. So with that said, we're getting back to this Vancouver Calgary game. I'm going to muddle things even more for you guys in our live chat because after everything that Prez said about loving Vancouver, I don't. And I'm going to explain why. I get it. Calgary's on the second of a back-to-back. And they, they either flew out last night or early this morning. It'll be an optional skate in Vancouver. It's like an hour flight likely. But I look at this Calgary team, and while I share the same sentiment that they're not going to be around at the end of the season, they're trying to understand how they're going to win games now, and they're playing some good defense right now, and they're not scoring a lot of goals. But you look at it on over their last 6 games, they've gone 3-2-1. They lose 2 games in OT to the Buffalo Sabres in a game in which the Sabres held on for dear life just to get it to OT. They lose to the Boston Bruins in that game. The game that they lost against the Edmonton Oilers, I was on the Oilers and told you guys the next day I thought I was fortunate and got puck luck to win that one as the Oilers scored late on a power play and then an empty netter. They're learning to win games by being a better defensive team. And Vancouver's just not playing well at home. They may be playing well on the road. And they use this. They were supposed to use springboard that 3-game road trip where they played the San Jose Sharks, the Anaheim Ducks, where they beat the LA Kings, and springboarded into a better performance at home. And what did they do? They laid an absolute egg against the Edmonton Oilers, allowing 4 goals in the last 14 minutes of that game. They are 1-5 at home this season. They are 1-4 in first periods. They've only led in 1 first period, and that was the first game of the year against the Calgary Flames. They were up 4-1 and lost that game 6-5. I'm taking the Flames first period here, plus 150. I think I think the grip on the sticks is turning that wood. Old school hockey into sawdust with this Vancouver team, waiting and trying to win a game at home. I'm sorry, but I'm going to take a Calgary team here that's plus 150. You can probably get them at plus 160 first period, and if they're tied after 1, it is a push. But it wouldn't shock me if they were ahead after 20 minutes. I'm sure they learned their lesson being down 4-1 after 1 and what Vancouver can do. Give me the Calgary Flames here, who are playing, I think, a better defense, at least for the opening 20 minutes. Andrew?
Well, this should be good because I like the Canucks to win the first period. So this is a little bit of everything here on the show in this one here. And, I think that the second half of back-to-back for the Flames, that stuff to me matters a lot more if the team, came out on top, which they did. Like I said, I had only 1 goal scorer yesterday for the Kings. Not going to win games by scoring 1 goal. The Flames, on the first part of their back-to-back, get the job done in defensive and low-scoring fashion. You got a Vancouver team that will not be happy, getting their asses kicked by the Oilers on Saturday night, hockey night in Canada. Yesterday, I gave out plus 150 Dallas puck line first period. Today, plus 130 Canucks puck line first period. I think this Flames team has a very, very overachieving defensive blue line. I feel like the numbers are going to start to fall off, come back to earth, and hopefully this is a spot. I mean, Carm's right. Canucks aren't playing well at home. Canucks superstars aren't showing up. There's no denying that. This is definitely one of those spots where I'm kind of sticking my neck out and hoping they have a really good first 20. So if I'm playing this team, I want plus money. I want to find a way to make money on them without having to put too much of my bankroll at risk, which is why I do like that plus 130 on the Canucks to win the first period in this one. All right, guys, one final reminder about the Gold Sheet. Until Sunday, you guys can log into your WagerTalk accounts and check out all kinds of great information, NCAA basketball and NBA basketball, all kinds of great info, all kinds of great previews, great stats, information, and more with Gold Sheet. Gotta love the Gold Sheet and all the great information that they provide over there. 7 days of basketball, still 6 days left, of course, with the Gold Sheet. All right, let's go around the horn. We'll go back to you, Carm. Best bet time. What do you have for us?
Yeah, well, I would be remiss, guys, if I didn't mention it is Customer Appreciation Day, Tuesday. It is a regular thing. Various cappers over at WagerTalk have a $5 play up, a package up that you can get. You can get as many as you want from as many cappers as you want. It is only $5. And I have a promo up as well, too, that the office created for me. And I'm just going to give you a couple numbers. It is NHL and it is also NFL as a bonus. So I said I would turn, I said October was a little rough. I would turn it around in November. Since the 1st of November, up 21.55 units, 62.5% in NHL. NFL, well, if you go right back to the 2022 season, we're talking 2.5 seasons of NFL. Number one at WagerTalk, there is not another capper who has a better percentage of units won than me. And I'm giving you 30 days of football for free if you pick up the rest of the NHL regular season and playoffs, which has been discounted as well, too, by our office. So you can find that over on my page, no coupon needed. As far as the free play, guys, I'm going back to the Devils one. And now the price I'm giving you is completely different than the price now that the goalies are named. But I mentioned to you earlier, I like the Devils at plus 125. They are now down to 115 on the WagerTalk live lines. That number keeps dropping, and it's because it's Spencer Knight, not Bobrovsky. These two will play again on a Thursday. But I really like the Devils in this spot off a shutout loss. Always tough to go against Florida in Florida, but let's see if we can get the first one. And then I'll likely come back with the Florida Panthers on Thursday as a play. So New Jersey Devils plus money here is your show free play. Prez, what do you have up at WagerTalk? And give us a show free play.
My brother, you got it. Okay, so it is a $5 appreciation day. Everybody has one play that is $5. I have a monster, a 5% NFL side bet. These bets are so freaking strong for me. I have absolutely dominated NFL sides for over 3 years of betting. This is only my second NFL 5% side bet of the season. The first was on week 1. It did lose. This is a really big play, guys, and all the streaks and all the reasons why you should buy it is up on the website. But what I want to talk about, forget about my $5 play. My $29 package today includes 1 college basketball, 1 NBA, and 2 NHL. Now listen to this. My college basketball is, I've won 7 in a row. 7 in a row. I'm on a 9-1 run, and I'm 10-2 to start the season. An aberration? Hell no. I made 66 units of profit. I was 59% last year in college basketball. An aberration? Not at all. The year before that, double-digit profits in college basketball. What about NBA? Okay, 5-1 in my last 6 NBA plays. An aberration? No. 100 units of profit in my last 2.5 NBA seasons. NHL, up profit this year. 9-1, 3% NHL run. Now, I see Andrew McGinnis smiling in the background as I talk, and I understand and respect that smile. I see him giggling. Why is he giggling? Why is he smiling? Because he recognizes greatness. Andrew, I will send you those plays on the house, so no worries. Anyway, my best bet is the New York Rangers. I'm going to give you guys a side best bet on the Toronto Maple Leafs. Both of those are, Toronto is in regulation. Lots of love, everybody. We'll see you on Wager Talk today. Great show lined up. Thanks for joining us. And hit that like button. Andrew and Carm, thanks for having me, guys.
We always enjoy having you on the show, Steve Merrill. Andrew, let us know what your show best bet is.
I'll take that. That's the best compliment ever. You kidding me?
Andrew, let us know
Steve's
what you
a
have
great
up at Wager Talk and give us a free play on the show.
Yeah, great stuff, guys. A lot of fun today on the show. Sounds like we have a lot of the same opinions. Maybe some were a little bit different, but wouldn't be a great show without some, a little bit of back and forth here. 8-2 NHL run for me. 5% play up today. That unfortunately is not $5. That is regular price because I'm on a 5-0 run with them. I have one push mixed in there, but 5 NHL 5% wins this season. My $5 play is the CFL Grey Cup Finals this Sunday, the championship game in the CFL. Get my opinion on that one for just $5. But NHL 150 takes $150 off my full NHL season. My best bet for today, live dog, the New Jersey Devils. I love this spot for them. I think they're a team that's going to get the job done tonight. I think they're off that loss against the Sharks. They'll be motivated to get the job done, and I feel like that motivation will lead them to a victory, not to mention they're a very skillful team. But that will do it today for us on Tuesday's edition of Puck Time. The three of us really appreciate all of you guys for watching, wishing you all the best of luck, and we'll see you tomorrow right here on Wager Talk TV.